Today, we're gonna draw Mega Charizard from the hit series Pokémon. What do you think about that, Mr. Ice Cream?
I'm so excited for this drawing, I think my cone might explode.
Well, I love your enthusiasm.
Before we get started, the only materials you need for this project are paper, a pencil, a black marker, and something to color with.
So let's get started. So we're gonna start off our drawing, as we always do, really lightly with pencils. We're gonna draw the overall shape of our character. So, Mega Charizard has a few more details on him than normal Charizard, so we wanna make sure this all fits on the page. So I'm gonna start by drawing a line across the top here. And then a couple lines coming down like that for where his wings are gonna go. A line for where his tail would be. 1 foot here and his belly. Other foot there. And see, even right now, this wing should be more over here. And then kind of a triangle shape for his head. And that's it. So, once we have this shape, then we can start carving out all of our details. So, let's start with his face here. So we're gonna do diagonal line coming down like this, which then bumps out a little bit. And then bumps out again and comes back. And goes up and around and back up. Can put a little nostril there. A little line there. And then it goes back up underneath his beak here. I'm gonna curve down and up and down again. And that's gonna connect back to his mouth here. And then right next to this nostril that we drew, I'm gonna draw a curving line like this. And then a line down from there. Connect that back to the bottom. Put a little circle in there for his eye and the highlight. And then right on top of this line where it bumps out here, I'm gonna draw an extra little triangle for his horn over there. And then this one comes back down, and then right from where his eye, if his eye was going to continue just above that, I'm going to do another horn there, and then overlapping that slightly, that's going to curve down for his neck. And then right where this bumps up, can put in his tooth there. And then from underneath here, same curve that we did there. Can do the other side of his neck right here. And then another line here. for where his shoulder's gonna be. And then from here, right from the edge of underneath his chin here, we can do a nice big long line that comes all the way down to his belly. I think I want that to curve out more. Remember what I always say, you don't start drawing until you start erasing. So, there's our line down for his belly. And then this line's gonna come out for his shoulder and down. And then his arm is kind of like this. And that's like a little hole between his arm there. And then this side of his neck is gonna continue down to meet his arm. So now right out of his shoulder, we can start drawing the wings, which is the most fun part here. Kind of like a diagonal, jagged kind of shape like that. And then overlap that a little bit. And that's going to come down to a point here. And then that's going to curve back in and then come right up and connect to that. All right, looking good so far. So now, right on the, he's got these crazy like elbow things. I don't even know what to call them. If you do, send us a message. But this curves out like that. And then two lines coming up to a point here. And then his hand, we're just gonna do the same thing we do on all of our Pokemons. Do three little backwards lines like that. Do a big middle claw. And then two kind of smaller claws on the side. And then just a little line coming up there. And then from where this point is, we're gonna come down, three curving lines, and slightly overlap that. And a little detail on the back of his arm, like this. So now we can draw where his wing kind of connects. Oh, yeah, we gotta do the underside of his wing here. Just kind of following that line. And then a little curve there. His wings are a little bit jagged, so something like that. Alright, so now, if we imagine this line for his kind of armpit area, continued down here, and then curved around for the back of his leg. And then this line's gonna continue behind his arm. Yeah, I think I want that to be a little different too. So slightly overlapping this line. And curve down and back up for his knee. that's gonna curve back around like that for his leg. Want to make sure his legs are nice and thick there to support his weight. And then from here, we come out with a little line, kind of curve that down. And then we're gonna do 3 more lines like that. And then curve back to connect. And then we're gonna put 3 big claws in here. And then we can start drawing his tail, which is gonna curve all the way around here. So he's got kind of a spike on his tail here. And then right from the middle of his leg here, almost touch his wing, and then come around and connect to his arm, and then from all the way down to his foot, curve around and connect back to that one. I think this is a little bit fatter. And I think this more like that. Sorry, a lot of details in this one. But wait for it, this is gonna turn out good. Okay, so now got the shape of his tail there going around. And that's gonna connect to where his belly is there. Okay, so this half is looking good so far. So now from this side of his neck, we can draw another shoulder here. And we're gonna do a little line up from there, kind of like a little bird shape like that. So it looks like an elbow. And then we're gonna do 3 more claws here for his hand. And then he's got this other elbow thing, which I still don't know what to call it. All right, and now from this shoulder, do a bump like that, which curves down under where this thing is, and then curves all the way back up above his head. Kind of a diagonal shape like that, following our initial lines there. And this curves right back up and connects to there. And then there's kind of a little indication of his wing there. And then we can connect the bottom part of his wing. Well, let's do this again because we forgot about it before. And so we did a little curve here. One more curve. And these lines are kind of jagged. Connect it right there. And now right where the top of this leg is, on this side, I'm gonna come down and loop out and around for his other knee. And maybe that's, I think that's a little too big. And then his foot kind of comes right out from here. Goes this way, so this foot's gonna come a little bit lower than this one. And then we do 1, 2, 3 lines and curve that back up to connect to his knee here. And then we can do 3 big claws with the middle one the longest. And same thing over here, the middle one's gonna be the longest. And now we just gotta finish off the tail behind here. So if we imagine where this curves around, it'll come right about here. We're gonna do 3 little jagged edges. And then that's gonna go up to a point. And then follow that up like that. And then right from his leg here, we're gonna do another one up like this. And then we're just gonna add the flames. Alright, I don't like that. Okay, here we go. And then a couple more lines because we'll color it different colors. Let's have the flame just continue. All the way up there. Perfect. So I think that's it. So now I'm just gonna add a few lines for where our shadows might go. So I'm gonna put like a little line on the bottom or just above his knee here. Curving line on his foot there. This shadow is gonna come right across his belly, curving like that. And curve down the other knee. And then it's also gonna connect to his tail like that. And then we're gonna do kind of circle around the other tail. Little line there. And then we're gonna kind of make underneath here a little bit darker. And that's it. So now let's go back and darken this in with some Sharpies and keep the party going. All right, so there's our finished black and white outline of Mega Charizard. So now I'm just erasing a few of our initial lines from that first shape that we drew. And if you'll notice, the only pencil lines I'm leaving are the lines that define where the shadows are. So this line underneath his belly and the line underneath his chin and right behind the wings here. So now it's time to color this in. So let's go. All right, so there's our finished drawing of Mega Charizard from Pokemon. What do you think, Mr. Ice Cream?
What do I think? I think this might be the coolest drawing I've ever seen in my entire life.
All right, you're right, he does, I have to admit, he does look pretty cool. Did you have fun though?
Yeah, so much fun.
Well, that's the most important thing at the end of the day. So I hope the rest of you had fun, and we'll see you at the next art party.
Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to save your seat at the next art party.